Great stuff.
Seems like it happens every year. We pick up on trends as meteorologists, and that's a trend that I think is not only every year, but more and more teams advancing to see it.
We love to see it.
Big baseball. South Texas, big in baseball.
Great.
More so than other places in the state, I will say.
We've got major leaguers too.
Yeah.
So cool. Congrats to all the teams that made it that far. It's a huge accomplishment, and I think lots of lessons learned, even in defeat. So congrats to them. Not as bad here today, although hot. I'm not trying to downplay how hot it was outside today. We did get into the middle 90s, 96 this afternoon, nowhere near the record. And the overnight low, that's nice, 77. You know, it's been in the low 80s more often than not the last several weeks. So 77, another little symptom and function of that little drop in humidity. The dew point not in the low 80s, rather the middle 70s right now. It's 93 degrees out with an east breeze at 15 miles per hour. Surface high pressure is now over eastern Texas. You see how all the wind is circulating around that, and all of the rain is now starting to arc up and over the top of said high pressure. Higher up in the atmosphere, that high is centered over the panhandle region of the state, and this will start to move to the south and east over the weekend. By Sunday, it'll be in the Gulf. This is the feature that we were hoping would deliver a front to us into next week, but it does not look like it's going to dig far enough to the south, nor be strong enough to send one all the way our direction. The one, good part of the forecast with this area of high pressure off to the west, northerly flow aloft, similar to today, may keep the humidity kind of where it is right now and keep some of that haze farther away from us. If you've noticed today, the skies were definitely bluer and more clean looking than the hazy smokiness that we've had as of late. But temperatures are going to run well above average, mid to maybe upper 90s, with the heat index getting close to 110 through the middle of next week. The Hurricane Center not flagging anything for development. This is over the next 7 days. You see all the thunderstorm activity over Central America. Something called the Central American Gyre going to try to work up late next week. This is just a broad area of low pressure. Sometimes this can yield tropical development. Sometimes it can just send plumes of moisture out, and that could lead to a few rainfall opportunities. You know, we're not saying anything's going to develop. That's the area we're watching, and it could be a scenario that some moisture works more to the north and we cash in on a little rain next weekend. That is all to be determined, but that's what we're looking at in the long range in the tropics. 77 tonight, another one in the 70s. Southeast breeze 6 to 16 miles per hour. Tomorrow, going to top out in the middle 90s, a heat index of 107. Definitely hot and humid, but not as oppressively so. And the southeasterly winds, breezy at times, but not terribly strong, gusting up to around 23 miles per hour. So on the water, a little bit of light chop. Water temps are in the mid 80s, 2 to 3 foot waves at a 5-second period. And over the next 7 days, each one similar to the last. Heat index values 105 to 110 through Wednesday, maybe a little more humidity Thursday. That's why the heat index gets a little bit higher. And by the tail end of next week, maybe into the weekend, again, we could have a little shift in some tropical moisture working our way. But, you know, if that were to happen, it would mean decent rain chances. It's just the problem with that forecast is that it's a week away, meaning reliability / confidence is not there just yet. It's just something we're watching.
And we will cling to that hope.
We'll see what happens.
Alan, thank you.